computer just like canceled the recording and everything like that. Oh, there's Kirthana. Oh, it's so nice to see you. I love that color on you. All right, so here is the ruins of ancient Persepolis. It was destroyed in a fire by Alexander the Great, which he swears it was an accident. We'll get more to that later on. Here's some of the artwork we see. So we can see that these people were like amazing craftsmen. This is what an artist believed it looked like. You know, got a giant statue of the king. I think this is Darius. It might be Cyrus, but I'm pretty sure it's Darius here. It's hard to tell from the back, but we see the animals going and look like they're fighting. We got little intricate people here. It's pretty amazing, the architecture of these people. Because you have to remember, these are thousands of years ago. Here we see how the people dressed, things that look like. What do we think's going on in this picture? What do we think's happening here? Any ideas? Anybody? Any ideas? Alexander, what do you think's happening in this picture here, dude?
People are bringing offerings or something.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's some sort of offering or gift. We've got like a small animal here. We got bowls of something. This looks like maybe he's like holding like a cup and like he's got his hand over because like, I don't want to spill it. I don't want to spill it. You know, got some sort of ball thing in here. Oh, there's like an animal on this guy's shoulder. So yeah, probably offerings or something like that. We'll get to their religion soon. Cool. Anybody have any other ideas of what might be going on or things in there, things they find interesting about this? All right, hearing none. So we're going to talk about the Royal Road a little bit. I know you've been like, with all these slides, I haven't had to write a thing. Well, it ends now. So the Royal Road, you don't need to know exactly how long it is. You don't need to know how many stations, but you need to know it was a humongous road that's going to span from Persepolis, from Susa, all the way to the Aegean Sea. So it starts here in Susa, goes through many important cities, and winds up going all the way here to Ephesus, actually, where, if you're familiar with the book of Ephesians, where that letter was sent to, so to the Aegean Sea. And this is going to be so important because along the Royal Road, you're able to go, first off, have your military traveling. So if, for example, the Peppers start rebelling over here, you can quickly get your army there to put the Peppers down. Or you can have your trade going on. It said you could travel this by a week if you're on horseback. Now, I know you're thinking, Mr. Kennedy, that's a really long time to be traveling, but we have to imagine how long ago this was and the technology you had. So the fact that you could go, 1,600 miles in 1 week is incredible. Like, this really is an achievement, this Royal Road. They went and so one of the ways they did this, to especially get messages to the emperor, which could be even faster, is they used relay stations. So what would happen is, General Maddox has an important message that he has to go give the emperor. So he's over here at Sardis, and he sends the fastest horseman he knows, Cortez, to start going on the Royal Road. So Cortez is going. He stops at a relay station, and he switches horses because Cortez isn't tired, the horse is tired. So then he's able to keep on going further and further and further. And then he stops at that station and passes the message off to Iker, who then he's going as fast as he can, He stops at a station, switches horses. So they're able to get information so quickly. But the thing, even if you're in a caravan, which is, a caravan, lots of carts, lots of people, animals moving, they move pretty slowly. It still only took a week to go the 1,600 miles, meaning they're going to have products from this whole area able to be traded quickly and easily, which I know we think, man, that's a really long time for things to be going, but this is so long ago that this is pretty amazing, an amazing achievement. That's pretty cool. So that's the Royal Road. Now, this wasn't the only road they had, but this road was particular because it was kind of like how you go on the highway today and then you can turn off and there are smaller roads. There would be smaller roads connecting to the royal road. And so really it made it so that the Persians were able to get around throughout their entire empire. Yeah, kind of like gas stations, except you're getting a new horse instead of filling the horse up. I mean, they would feed the horses afterwards and stuff, but they'd just be ready with a new one. I like that analogy. Good job, sir. So, that's our royal road. Gotta remember it. Here, some more Persian artwork. You can see what the Persian soldiers look like. We can see that their clothes, they had some style here. They got all these different designs and decorations on their clothes. This guy, it looks like he probably has a bow and arrow. His arrows are here, his bow's there, he's got a spear. We see, typically the Persians had beards, things like that. We get an idea about that sort of thing. Now let's talk about their faith a little bit. Now, the Persian religion is pretty interesting. It's called Zoroastrianism. If we were in class, I'd go and say, all right, at the count of three, say Zoroastrianism. So you can do that like in home. You don't have to have your mic on, but 1, 2, 3, Zoroastrianism. It's a lot of syllables. So we'd say Zoroastrianism. Then if we were together, I'd say, hey, Adelina, say Zoroastrianism like you're excited. And then, Jackie, say it like you're scared. And we'd have fun. But alas, we'll have to compete. Now, Zoroastrianism was named after the guy who founded it, the prophet Zoroaster. And you're probably going to be surprised, but Zoroastrianism is actually a monotheistic faith, just like how Judaism was monotheistic, and they believed in a god called Ahura Mazda. And Ahura Mazda, the direct literal translation, would be wise Lord. Now, Zoroastrianism is pretty different. Now, we talked about Judaism earlier on the year or last year, and we're going to talk about Christianity near the end of the year and the beginning of the year next year, and then we'll talk about Islam near the beginning of the year next year. So those three monotheistic faiths, they all kind of go together. They all have similarities, whereas this one's completely unique and different. And they had this idea, it's called dualism. And you can probably skip this bullet right here, and you can simplify it in the fact that they thought of the idea of there was good and evil. And so I'd skip this bullet right here. So they believe in the idea of good and evil. But here's what's interesting. Everything you do has to deal with the battle of good and evil. So for example, Evelyn writing her notes out dutifully is fighting for good. Yeah, that's right. You are helping Ahura Mazda win the epic cosmic battle of good and evil. Congratulations. Doesn't it feel good? But then, for example, we've got Danny here who's actually taking a nap. Yeah, I know. Unbelievable. In class, but camera's off, taking a nap, he's snoozing. And he is battling for evil. Yeah, that's right. He's going against Evelyn and Ahura Mazda and all that is good in the universe and fighting for evil. So it's this interesting idea that all of your actions have consequence and that it's dire. Now, of course, in Zoroastrianism, they do believe that Ahura Mazda wins the battle of good and evil, but they say that you are contributing or hurting that. Another interesting thing is Zoroastrians do not bury their dead. So what they would typically do is they create these towers, and they put their dead in towers, and then birds will come and eat them. Because Ahura Mazda, Zoroastrianism has this idea where things like that would pollute the earth and be fighting for evil. So this idea of purity and purification is going to be very important. So we're going to see that with the holy fire as well. This is the symbol for Zoroastrianism, by the way. And we're going to talk a lot about this fire because there are still people who practice Zoroastrianism today. Their holy book is called the Zend Avesta. And I'm going to pause here just for a second because some of you are writing, I know, and I know I'm going fast. Do you have any questions while we're waiting for people to catch up? But yeah, pretty much anything that you do they thought was either good or evil. So like eating all your vegetables at dinner time, that's for good. Going and like spitting them out into your napkin while your parents aren't looking, that's fighting for evil. You know, going and being nice to your little sister or brother, you know, playing with them, fighting for good. Going and like locking them in the closet so you can have a few minutes with your iPad, that's evil. So Zoroaster, we think he was born around 6 BCE. We don't know. His motto was good thoughts, good deeds, good works. He's looking pretty regal in this picture right here. And so we see that Zoroastrianism, so this purple is where it was most popular, but it's going to spread through the entire Persian Empire. However, like I said, it's most popular in this area. Once again, we have the symbol. So even though it's monotheistic, you don't have to write this. They did believe in other spirits. So, you know, Ahura Mazda was God. Ahriman, destruction. He's the one fighting for evil. And so it's really cool. So with how Zoroastrianism is practiced, in a temple, there's a cauldron like this. And the flame is supposed to always be burning. So they're always going and burning it. So there's always always adding fuel to it. And that's the way the priest goes and you know, serves. And this kind of represents Ahura Mazda, and we have the idea of fire brings purity and all that kind of stuff. And that's going to be our notes for the day. So did we have any questions on any